Hello, I'm Monica Morrissey, owner of Intuitive Wellness, and this is my blog, Soul Whisperings, and this is number 23. So thank you for being here with me today. Um, I've been thinking a lot about what topic I wanted to talk about today, and there's several on my mind. But one of the things about teaching in this in this way is that usually it's whatever I need to hear that then shows me what to talk about. So this week I'm going to talk about um, my addiction to my phone and what that means for me and what I'm doing to help with that. So I remember years ago, a friend of mine was trying to quit smoking. And one of the things that they talked about in the program was about the places that you're smoking, and that you have to come up with a new habit or a new routine during that time. So, for instance, when you're driving, right? So that's perfect time to light up and start smoking. And so they had to consciously think about doing something different during that time. So I've done a couple of things lately to try to limit the amount of time that I'm spending scrolling, because I'm finding that it's not healthy for my mental wellness, and that I'm becoming more into my head instead of living from my heart. And that's where I want to stay centered, is in my heart. And when I'm scrolling and I'm reading I'm just consuming so much stuff, it makes me not, I don't know, not grounded, not in the present moment. I'm more in my head. And so these are a few things that I've been doing. First of all, I learned on the Mel Robbins, which I've been totally into her podcast lately, and her books, the Let Them theory. Totally fascinating work. So I've been listening a lot to her podcast. And one of the things that she said on her podcast really hit home for me, and I've been doing it, is to, oops, to turn my screen to gray. So you can kind of see a little bit. It's all like black and white and shades of gray, because our eyes love the bright colors, right? Think little kids and candy and glitter and all those things that we're attracted to, right? And so our body is like reacting to, okay, I want something shiny and bright. And so our phone gives us that, and we have to try to control that desire, right? It takes a lot of willpower to be able to overcome that it's just an initial thing that our body seeks out this fancy, colorful things. So another thing that I've learned about years ago was called random, let's see, random, oh gosh, now I can't think of the name. I should have written it down. Random reward, sorry. And that's why we get addicted to going to check our emails, going to check Facebook, whatever it is that you're going to check, maybe even your bank account. Like, you're looking for that little bit of random reward. And a random reward, what happens to our body is we get a little shot of dopamine. Okay, so let's just say I go to check my email and I get a cool email, and a client has made an appointment, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I get excited, right? So that makes me want to go back to my email, because maybe by chance, it's kind of like winning the lottery a little bit, and on a microscopic level, right? And so what is it in those emails? What is it on Facebook? I'm getting that random reward. So just to kind of go over how to change this, let's see. I want to, hang on, set this as my new, oops, I'm sorry. Okay. So this is what kind of it looks like when it's all grayed out. Okay. But to do that, you go to accessibility. Oh, sorry, go to settings and then go to accessibility and go scroll down here to display um, text display and text size and scroll down and there'll be what's called a color filters. And color filters can be either on, so you see all the colors, or off. And then it's all in the gray, shades of gray. And what that does to our brains is it's not so shiny and bright. So I'm not as attracted to it. I've done this for a couple of weeks. I was trying it out and it was interesting. A few times I've had to turn it back to color because like if I'm trying to, research something for instance, on Amazon, right? Like, and so I need to know what color it is before I, am buying whatever it is that I'm buying. So I've had to switch it back and forth a couple of times. And I have noticed a difference when I do switch it back to color that I am drawn to it. So I'm trying to remember to turn it back to that gray scale. They've done research studies on it, and you can listen to Mel Robbins' podcast. It's a more recent one, and they talk about that people use their phone, I think it was, don't quote me on this, but like at least 50% less than what they were using it. And so that was kind of my goal is to not be on my phone as much, to be able to focus on the things that I need to get done, the work that I need to do. And also, when we're on our phones, we're not grounded. Okay, we're in our heads. It's and we're not like in our physical body. And so anytime that I'm on the phone too much, then I have to go outside, walk in the woods, get grounded. Right now it's snowing, so I'm not putting my feet on the ground, but normally I would be putting my feet on the ground as much as possible. And I'm looking forward to spring so that I can put my feet on the ground more and also just kind of lean up next to a tree and enjoy that moment. So today, one of the things that I did to try to transition to really focusing in on not scrolling so much, I took a walk in the woods. It was beautiful this morning. It was so quiet and peaceful, and the snow was super quiet. But I did hear some birds singing. I was like, oh, good for them. They're singing, even though it's snowing. And so we can be happy with where we are. But I'm also going back to, let's go back to that that smoking scenario that I gave you about when you go to sit in your car, that's perfect time to light up, right? Like it's that habits that our body gets used to. And so where I am noticing it is if I'm waiting for something, do I need to be scrolling? It can be as simple as I'm waiting for the rice to cook and I'm just like bored, right? Like, so what can I do during that time? Another key time for me is I get home and I sit on the couch and boom, that instantly is a scrolling time for me. And so I've been looking at other things that I could be doing during that time where I can still relax, but not in a scrolling way. So I've been reading more books. I've been actually doing, there's this book called Forever Strong, and it's all about increasing your muscle strength, especially as we age, to help with our bone density, especially women. So sometimes I'm like, you know what? I can just do a few reps of like um, a squat, or I can do some arm exercises, or I could do something like that. And so I take those few minutes and I just do something like that instead. That gets me grounded, makes me feel really good. And now my mind isn't on somebody else. Um, one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because of all the chaos around us and not in my world right now, but outside of my world. And there's only so much that I can do to control that. And so if I feed myself all this information about what's going on in the world. I try to limit my news so that I kind of know what's going on, but I don't need to know everything that's happening in the world. It's just too much information. So, anyway, I hope that this helps you sharing my story about what I'm doing. And just, disclaimer, this is not medical advice. It's not mental health advice. This is just me sharing my story of what that I am doing to be a little bit more sane in my life. And if you can use some of the ideas, and if not, that's okay too. That's your choice. Um, anyway, just a disclaimer that this is just me sharing my story. This is not um, any sort of advice for you. You get to choose what you want to do. And I would really encourage you to go read that book, Let Them. It describes what's happening inside of our minds when things are out of control. Because humans love to be in control. And so this is one of the things that, there's so many things outside of our control. And that's why, like, a lot of people are struggling right now. So, anyway, let's see. We got some events coming up at Intuitive Wellness on Thursday, April 10th. That's this week. I have a card reading class. We're going to be going over angel cards and also tarot cards. And that will be Thursday at 6 o'clock at the Village Restaurant in Hardwick. And let's see, I also have a Reiki 1 class coming up on Saturday from 8 to 12. And that will be in Hardwick also. And then on May 2nd, we have the famous Rebecca Ann LaCicero coming to town again. She's been coming in the spring and the fall, and we have so enjoyed having her at the Hardwick Townhouse. And that is going to be May 2nd, and that will start at 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6 o'clock. And we are just super excited to welcome Rebecca back to Hardwick. And we have so many new faces. We already have 70 signups. So just so you know, you reserve a ticket through me. So email me at monicalmorrissey@gmail.com, RRSSEY, and reserve your ticket so that you make sure that you get a seat, because these events have been growing and growing, and so we do expect quite a big crowd for this night. So if you want to reach out and work with me, I do dream analysis. Your dreams are trying to tell you something, and it's not what you think. I also do past life work. So if you feel like you've come across something that you can't heal, usually a past life session will sometimes heal that for you. Let's see, I do Reiki. I also teach any kind of Reiki class individually. So, like, if my Saturday mornings is usually when I hold classes, if those aren't working for you, just give a shout out. I can try to rearrange my schedule and try to find a time where we can do Reiki. Um, anyway, I hope you all have an amazing day, and thank you for listening if you listen to this whole thing. And yeah, see you soon.